spending these hours in the workplace, in the library, and on the hard desk. I sacrifice my comfort zone. Are you willing to do that? In this video, we will learn 7 skills which, if we first understand and master it, will help us to become a rich person. While setting a goals, the first question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to pay a price? As a tax accountant, have you ever heard a lack of money is a little bit of problem? You know what? Lack of money is never ever a problem. But what I mean is lack of money is simply a symptom of problem, but it's not a cause of the problem. What the problem really is a lack of skill. Have you ever heard stories of lotteries winner who suddenly win and a lot of money comes to their lives, millions and millions of dollars? They found themselves broke, bankrupt only a few years down the line. Actually, sometime worse off when they were financially independent before winning a lottery. Now, why is that? They have a money, but they don't have a skill after it. So in this video, we will learn 7 skills which, if we first understand and master it, will help us to become a rich person. By which I mean is not only having a lot of money, but have a skill to manage that money more effectively and efficiently. I want you to watch whole video from start until the end, and if you found I missed any of the key skills from this video, then please do not shy to comment below in the section, and I would highly appreciate your effort. So without a further ado, let's get started. So the first skill is the ability to talk to the client persuasively. Sometimes people call closing skills. This is the art of articulating the value of your services and compelling clients to take actions. Can you ask powerful questions that lead clients to invest in your services? Are you comfortable talking to strangers, presenting your ideas, and demonstrating your services? Closing skills, I believe, is the most important skill you need to master if you want to excel as a tax accountant. When you are dealing with clients, you are closing. When you are negotiating with suppliers, you are closing. And most importantly, when you are talking to your employees or talking to your team, you are closing. As a tax accountant, let's say you got a phone call. The client speaking is Mr. Ali, let's assume, and he said, I want to contribute into my pension. The first powerful question you should ask him, how much pension you have already contributed in this tax year? The follow-up question should be, have you contributed pension in previous 3 tax years? No, it's your persuasive skills to convert your telephonic client into a face-to-face meeting, or at least Zoom or Teams meeting. And then obviously when you have a face-to-face or Zoom meeting, then you can charge him your hourly rate for giving him advice. The second skill is focus. Now this skill or this high income skill you might not expect. This is what I normally call high performance skill. Or you might be thinking this might be another productivity skill. This guy gonna tell me wake up early. He's gonna tell me take a cold shower, more discipline and never give up, and some other motivational quotations. No, that's not what I am going to tell you. I am going to explain to you very clearly that in our generation, most of the people don't have a skill which is focus, because they are flooded with so many distractions on a daily basis, whether it's social media, messages, TikTok, notifications, emails. When was the last time this week you actually sat down, had no distractions, you actually sat down and focused for 2 to 3 hours non-stop and got into the flow state? When I ask this question to most of my fellow tax accountants, the answers are, honestly dude, like that never happen. Like every 30 minutes I get some emails, I get some messages, or I just recall to send a text message to my parents, and then it's go down the rabbit hole where I get distracted. And you know what? The research shows because of all the distractions that modern day society has now created for us, humans have up to 30 to 40% decrease in their outputs, which means if you as a tax accountant are working 8 to 10 hours every single day, and you are going to say, man, I worked very hard and I know that I worked 50 to 60 hours a week. Can you imagine each day out of 10 hours you got actually 6 hours of work done, and 4 hours you just wasted. You just wasted in some way which you really don't know, because you are lack of this one skill, which is high performance skill. Let's say you got the tax planning client. I often say to my colleagues that tax planning is more about focus on understanding the client and connect dots by doing a reverse engineering. Let's say Mr. Ali has asked you what is most tax efficient way of extracting a profit. Now the first question you need to ask is how much money per annum do you need to live your life? Now do some reverse engineering, like okay, 50,000 will be enough for him to live a good life. He might need a mortgage in coming years. He might also need a car. So maybe either extract money now and leave it in company bank account if you want to get mortgage through company, but at the same time keep an eye on tax implications of buying a residential property through company, and ask him a follow-up question. Do you work from home? Yes, I do. Okay, let's calculate use of home for him. What about pension? Have you contributed in pension in previous years? Yes. In first year, I contributed 20,000. In second year, I contributed 10,000. And last year, I contributed 15,000. But all of these contributions I made privately, not from my company. But why are you asking? First of all, calculate pension allowance for him and then explain what the difference between making a contribution through your company and personally. As a tax accountant, this is with focus and reverse engineering. You do a tax planning, and obviously, which is highly effective skill. And the third skill is decide what exactly do you want. Most people in their lives, they don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. To understand what you want, you need to set up goals. What exactly do you want? Like, for example, I am a qualified accountant. I can join audit department, performance management, accounts or finance team, or even a credit control department. I was a senior accountant for 4 to 5 years doing company accounts and corporation tax, and up to certain limit doing a personal tax as well. However, last year I asked myself what really I want. What is something which motivates me? During 4 to 5 years of my accountancy experience, tax was something which hits me differently, because whenever I solve a problem or give them a different solution for the same problem and giving them investing options which definitely reduce the tax bill, the happiness on their face hits me differently. And then I decided tax planning is something which I really love to do, which I can do straight 16 hours without any tightness. And then I started looking for a role, and in December 2024 I landed a tax supervisor role. One of the key questions you must ask yourself, are you willing to pay a price? Obviously, while setting a goals, the first question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to pay a price? And the right question will be, what price are you willing to pay for a success? What are you willing to give up, and what are you willing to sacrifice? Like in my case, I was searching for tax role. I understood I don't have much experience in tax, and there are only a few areas of tax planning which I already worked and understood. And then I realized, let's start a YouTube channel, especially for tax planning, for which I started searching tax planning topics and concepts. And I remember I was working 15, 16, and 17 hours a day. Soon after I finished my work, I went to a library or bought a subscription for one hard task to work on tax topics and concepts. And I believe during the interview, many of the questions when interview asked me, even though I did not practically work on these cases but still was searching for a YouTube videos I learned for those topics, and which obviously helped me to secure a job. By spending these hours in the workplace, in the library, and on the hard desk, I sacrifice my comfort zone. Are you willing to do that? Now, since I've been working in accountancy for past 6 7 years, and across all the roles, one of the key requirement is to update your knowledge and skills over the period and over the years. And you need to submit an annual CPDs to your professional bodies, whether they are soft skills, technical skills, communication skills, or even communication with your team. You need to improve every single day to become a best version of yourself. When you are in a senior role or in a leadership role, then expectations from you and from your role are different. Then it's not just about your own improvement and development. You need to take care of people around you for their development and for their improvement, especially your own team. And especially in service industry, it's all about building a team. Like for example, as a qualified accountant, I need to submit 40 hours of CPDs each year. On top of this, I need to take care of my career progressions, learning new skills, and completing a new qualifications. Plus, I need to schedule performance review meetings and career progression meetings with my team. It's all about setting the right goals and with constant improvement and commitments, achieving them. And second last skill is, some people think they know how to manage and deal with people, and some people think they even don't have people skill being an accountant. But that is not true. We need to create a balance. In tax role, we most likely will be working as part of the team. So we need to work with others and be a good teammate. I remember in one of my previous roles, one of my colleague left her role saying that I don't want to deal with clients. I don't want to have a headache. I believe in this era, people skills are crucial, and especially if you are in the tax department, because daily you need to interact with clients with their problems and present them your solutions, and then you need to manage your team to make sure all the deadlines are met. Last but not least, dependability and communication skill. Let's say if you are doing work and your client is expecting it by 10th March and now it's 10 February. Around 28 February, you realize that there is still more data you need to get from client to complete his tax work. You queried and he got back to you. By 3rd March, you understand due to other deadlines, you won't be able to complete it by 10th March. Now, one way is to stay quiet and close your eyes and say, hopefully, client will not come back to you. And the second way is to email or call a client and apologize and say, look, due to other deadlines, I won't be able to complete. However, I am hoping to complete it by 15 March. Now, in which way do you think clients will stay with you and appreciate your efforts? Of course, it is the second way. So that's why communication is so important, and only 1% of clients do understand taxation, remaining all dependent on us and trusting that we will make the right decision for them. Like if Mr. Ali called you and asked for a tax planning, then he is dependent on you and trusting you that you will come up with a more tax efficient planning strategies. So let's end the video with these two powerful thoughts. Knowing others is an intelligence, but knowing yourself, that's a true wisdom. And mastering others is a strength, but mastering yourself, that's true power. And the second one is, success is all about going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. In this video, we cover 7 key skills which are really important to excel in a text role. Let's quickly recap them. Number one is the ability to talk persuasively with clients. Number two is focus. Number three is decide what exactly do you want. And number four is, are you willing to pay price? And number five is commitment to constant improvement. And number six is people skills. And finally, number seven is dependability and communication. As always, keep learning, keep posted me any questions you guys have, any improvements you want me to do in my videos. I will happy to do that. As always, hand ahead salute.